Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Pretty Little Liars. Season 5, 6, what are we on?
5.
Season 5, episode 19, Outdamned Spot. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my lovely co-host, Heather. How's it going?
It's going.
It's going. So what'd you think of this episode?
It was nice to have a somewhat filler episode. We've had a really busy few weeks.
We have.
It was nice to have a nice calm episode.
Yeah, not a whole lot in the A front happened. But yeah, the episode started out with the blood drive.
Yeah.
And three of the 4 girls give blood. Emily couldn't give blood because she went to Tahiti? No. I think it was Haiti. I think.
There you go.
It was wherever the Habitats for Humanity was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, she was building the thing.
Right, she was.
Yeah, it's last season. And Mike, Arya's brother Mike, shows up, somehow claiming that he's interested to see how it all works, and supposedly stole some blood. Mm-hmm. We didn't see him steal the blood, so we can't 100% say that it was Mike. But it sure as hell looks like Mike.
Right. Because
he was really super shady. The cabinet was open after he was stumbling around there, and then later on in the episode, the girls receive a text message saying that they...
thanks for the blood.
Yeah, thanks for the blood, or thanks for the donation, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And
3 vials, and they're all labeled Hannah, Spencer, and Arya.
Yeah. So do you think it was Mike?
You know, I don't know, because I mean, the picture of those 3 vials. Okay, they were in a hand, and you could see the hand, and there was full black leather gloves on the hand. Mm-hmm. The person that Mike supposedly gave this to,
Hank Mahoney,
had fingerless gloves on because he was riding a bike. Mm-hmm. So, I think this is another one of the writer's clever ploys where they have us paying attention to something so intently that looks like this is what's going on, where there's something that we missed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Red herring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and they're known to do that. This is a show that does that.
That's all the time. Whenever the show does the obvious, I think it's not. Right. So I don't think it was Mike. I don't think it was Mike at all.
I don't think it was. Now, we were shown that Mike did have a vial of blood. A vial.
Right.
He pulled 1 vial out of a can in his fridge in his room.
Yes.
That had a secret little stash. But it was we only saw 1 vial. Mm-hmm. A had 3 vials.
For all we know, because we know for sure that Mike has been visiting Allison. Mm-hmm. We know that for sure.
Well, we don't know that for sure now, because the phone call that came... Well, yeah, we do know that for sure because it was on the
sign-in sheets.
Police records. Right. Yeah.
So, I'm thinking that maybe for one reason or another that Cyrus had donated blood.
Cyrus, who is Hank Mahoney.
Right. Had donated blood, and Mike went to retrieve it because they were worried that A was going to do something with it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know why Mike would be involved in that, but that's what I think.
Mike gave Cyrus $400.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see him hand him the blood?
No, we didn't. We just saw the envelope.
So we're being led to assume he was handed the blood.
Right.
You know, we don't know. It could have been...
I think he did hand the blood over. That's my assumption. I think it is, but there was one vial. I don't think there were 3 vials. And I think it was his own blood. I think Cyrus gave his...
It was
his
somebody
own,
else's.
You know, got his own blood back.
It wasn't the girls.
I think they were worried that A was going to do something with Cyrus's blood and frame him. So, you know, because Allison and Cyrus did set this whole thing up, but they set it up in a way where he would get exonerated.
Right.
So...
And the 400 could have very easily been, here, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Talia and Emily, you know, they spend a whole lot of time this episode getting awfully close.
They do.
They start reminiscing first kisses and this and that and that. And then lo and behold, toward the end of the episode, Emily finds out that Talia is married.
Currently married.
Did you see that one coming?
Living with the guy. No. I did not. I was not anticipating that one. Poor Emily. She just can't. She can't have any kind of relationship. They either end up dead or now they're married.
Yeah, and then.
Or they're Allison.
And then Talia wants to talk to Emily later on in the episode and explain, you know, it's been my best friend all this time. And, you know, do you buy all that? Do you think that's a genuine story?
I don't know. I mean, we don't even know who he is.
Right. We know nothing. All we know is that
how do we know this isn't
information? That's all. That's literally all we know about him.
Her husband isn't somebody we already know.
That's true too. That is very true. What if what if her husband is the guy that moved into Spencer's house, Johnny?
The one who just recently broke up with her?
Yeah. Maybe. He just mentioned that he just recently got out of a relationship.
Johnny doesn't look like his last name would be Mendoza.
Maybe.
I still think maybe they are. Maybe they are married. But I still think Johnny's part of the NAT club.
Ooh.
I showed you that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you showed me, it was an article with 2 pictures side by side or something?
Let us talk about this.
Okay.
So back in season 1, it was episode 3. I think it was 3. Was it 3? 3.
Sounds about right.
Spencer, Hannah, Allison, and Emily.
Sorry about that.
All went to a party at Noel's cabin. Now, this is back when Emily was still with blonde-haired boy. I don't remember his name. And Emily... It was the episode where Toby beat the shit out of Emily's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So this is way back then.
Right.
There is a scene inside of this party where Spencer is talking to somebody, and in the background, there is a guy standing there, very obviously watching Spencer. And some people have pointed out that he holds a very striking resemblance to Johnny.
Right. I've just pulled this picture up on the screen now for those of you.
Okay. And, I mean, I looked at it. Dom's looked at it. It does.
Yeah.
It looks like a slightly younger version of Johnny.
It does.
And he would have been slightly younger. He would have probably been... He knows Melissa. He said knows Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's about that age.
Yeah.
I think he's part of the NAT club.
He very well could be. They are eerily similar.
They are very, I mean, like, down to the way, like, the ear, all of it.
Yeah.
He just looks a little bit cleaner in the past picture.
Yep.
Now he looks like he's been on the run, moving around a lot. This, that, the other thing, you know?
Yep.
So I really think he has something to do with that.
I do too. I don't doubt that at all. So when you showed me that, my jaw dropped. I was like,
yeah, I saw that and I was like, Dom.
I usually don't buy into
to see this.
Yeah, I usually don't buy into a lot of these, you know,
Fan
crazy
theories.
rumor mill kind of absurd theories, but this one, it looks too fucking close to deny.
It really does. And I saw that one and I was like, because I don't show you a lot of the fan theories. I really don't.
Right.
I mean, I go through a ton of them. That's my research every week.
Yep.
I do this. And I saw that one and I was like, it's too close.
Yep. Yeah, no, that was crazy. But this episode...
Somebody picked this up and it is good.
Yeah. This episode, Johnny paints this mural at Hollis. Right? And he wants to take Spencer. The way it was worded, Johnny was very careful with his words. It did not state that he had a job. Yep. Spencer believed he did, took it that way. It was actually an act of vandalism. She flipped out when she saw it in the paper. Do you think she was completely justified for flipping out on him?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... he very obviously, I mean, he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know, you know, what all. Or does he? Or is he part of all of this? But, you know, he's not.
Because he's like, oh, this town is built on whispers and lies and
right.
deceit. And I think he knows a little bit more than he's letting on. Yeah. Right. So it was super interesting.
Yeah, it was. I mean...
Yeah. We did see Spencer during all this kind of commotion going on when she did message, she sent an email to Melissa.
I'm still curious. I'm still curious to see if we're going to get a response from that, because I still would really like to see if Melissa was in the barrel or not.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't heard anything from Melissa one way or the other. Big theory going around. It's a very, very popular theory right now that the reason why Toby hasn't said anything to Spencer is because Melissa's in the barrel.
Right.
Completely
and
plausible.
I mean, I've been saying something about it being Melissa for a couple weeks now. And I would love to see that. I would love to see that it's Melissa in the barrel, and this is how Spencer finds out.
Yeah.
I mean, that would definitely be the driving force between Toby and Spencer.
Oh yeah.
It really would.
Toby and Spencer at wit's end. Seems like. It seems they're probably the worse off out of any of the couples right now. We have, you know, Arya and Ezra. They're not talking at all. We found out from Emily. Emily relayed some information about Savannah College. She was cheating off Andrew? Is that his name? Andrew's math test.
Andrew is back.
Yep, and he helps tutor her. And Spencer's like, "Oh, be careful." And Arya's like, "Why?" He's like, she goes, because of the dimples. Those dimples. So
dimples.
It seems like Spencer maybe clued in a little bit as to what's going on with Arya and Ezra, but Emily was completely left out of the dark. It seems like the girls are kind of keeping information from each other too. Cause
they really are.
I don't think anybody really knows about Spencer and Toby, right?
Right.
And not just that, but then Emily later said, you know, I think Spencer, you and Paige, I know you're worried about her. At least your relationship isn't all confusing. And then I just kind of let out this chuckle because of everything that's going on with Talia. I was like, it's super not confusing at all. So, but you know, and then you have Ashley. Right, she's not one of the girls, but Hannah's mother, Ashley, she finally told Pastor Ted about the one-night stand with Jason.
Right. And, I was so happy that she finally did that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, but Ted kind of gave the same response that she did when he first asked the question. You know? I need some time.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen with that?
I don't know.
He is
That's
a pastor.
really hard to say.
He has an image to hold up.
Yeah.
He
does. So it's going to be, he's going to have to decide between his image and how he feels.
Yeah. I don't know. Which way are you leaning? Do you think he's going to stay with her, or do you think he's going to leave?
I don't know.
You're that torn on it?
I have no idea. Like, I'm that torn on it. Like, I love Ashley. I think she's an amazing character. But she makes some of the stupidest goddamn choices ever.
She does. She 100% does.
Ever. She's as bad as the girls.
Worse. At least the girls are not complete sluts.
Yeah, she's bad. Like, and I put that down. I was like, have we mentioned how much of a slut this woman is?
I mean, out of all of them, dare I say Emily is the sluttiest of them?
Yeah.
I mean, Emily's been with how many? 3? But not really. She's not, like, sleeping around. That's the thing.
It's between Emily and Spencer, because Spencer, even though she has Toby now, look at what she was doing before Toby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
And there's definitely something getting closer with her and Johnny. You can see it.
Yeah. And Johnny even mentioned something this episode that he always has a thing. He always falls for girls that are unavailable. In one way or another. Emotionally or otherwise is how he phrased it. So, you know, Spencer kind of laughed that one off and went
then fell.
Painting her mural.
Then fell.
Yeah, fell right into him.
Right into him.
Right into his arms.
That little moment, and then it was ruined.
Yeah.
I think it's a ploy. I think Johnny knows exactly what he's doing.
I do too. And the
I
other
don't
person,
trust Johnny.
Other person I think knows exactly what they're doing is Hannah. You know, Hannah's going around this episode trying to find a way into her college tuition, so she goes to her father to pick a fight. And, you know, she's got to know that he's not going to give the money. She had to know that going into it, so that's just starting a fight at that point. You know, so her father's...
Right.
Her father's going to pay for her stepsister, Kate, to go to a private college. And he can't afford any more than the settlement that he agreed on with the mother. And, you know, I don't think it was right for the father to not talk to Hannah and not discuss this.
Right. You know, I mean...
I'm going to actually side with Hannah on this one, though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, we very rarely see her father. Very rarely. And every time we do, it's trouble.
Yeah, it's never good when we see him. He's never in it for the good of anybody but himself. You know, I'm sorry, I know you didn't want to disappoint the wrong daughter. You know.
Right.
So she has a talk with Ezra, and Ezra kind of makes her realize that she can still go to school where she wants to. She's got to step up and earn the money herself. So
yeah, she's just got to do it on her own and prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, so she goes to look for... She's looking in the newspaper for different articles and stuff, and she stumbles across a beauty pageant for part of the 20K scholarship.
Right.
So her mother's super surprised about it. They have a little heart-to-heart. But how do you think A is going to fuck up the beauty pageant? You know A's got to get involved.
There'll be a way. I mean... figure out something.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that apparently, like, there's more to it than Hannah's ready for.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of teasers over Emily's teaching for Hannah next week.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm sure we're going to learn more about, you know, Cyrus and Mike and what's going on with that. Like, you know, outside of the blood, Mike's kind of super shady. He's been watching the girls through windows and stuff like that. And, Then the very, very end of the episode, we see the video clip playing on loop again, you know, of let's roll the barrel into the woods and roll it into the swamp or whatever they're saying. And then you see A dripping Arya, Spencer, and Hannah's blood onto some of the evidence that we saw that was in the locker in the storage, or in the storage room, the plastic bags.
Right. Like, so, I am almost tempted to go back and look at, like, every piece of clothing Melissa has ever worn in a scene and seeing if I can find that pattern on anything she's ever worn.
Yeah, no, it was like almost like a yellow flower pattern or whatever, and I don't think I've seen
I would have ever seen on Mona.
I don't think I've ever seen on any of the characters.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
Yeah.
But it was hard to tell because it is swirled with blood and stuff already to begin with, so. But, yeah. You have anything else for this episode before we go to next week? Okay.
Nope, this episode was really easy.
It was. So, next week, episode 20. We're getting close to the end. I think there's, 4 more episodes?
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty isn't the point. Determined to get college tuition money without the help of others, Hannah pushes forward with her quest to win the local beauty pageant and hires a pageant coach to ensure her win. So, apparently she still needs the help of others. Quickly learning that you have to be more than a pretty face to win the grand prize, Heather then turns to Emily for help.
Heather. You said Heather.
I said Emily.
Hannah? Heather turns to... I don't know. I heard my name.
I said quickly learning that you have to be more than a pretty face to win the grand prize. Hannah turns to Emily for help.
I thought you said Heather turns to Emily. I was like, what?
I don't think so, but maybe I did.
Anyways, continue. I'm sorry.
Also needing a little help, Arya asks Andrew to help keep tabs on Mike, whose increasingly suspicious behavior suggests a chilling connection to Mona's death. Because we did learn, was it this episode or last week, that Mike and Mona were in a fight?
We learned it last week with Leslie, but Arya said something to Mike about it this week.
Right. And I think Andrew's going to be a little bit more willing to help because Emily had to go and blurt that she thinks Mike is hooked on amphetamines, which is exactly what Andrew had been selling to Spencer.
Yep.
So you saw him kind of perk up. Really?
Look in the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think convincing him to keep an eye on Mike is going to be much of an issue because Andrew's going to want to unload some of his merchandise.
Right.
But what Arya ultimately discovers makes her blood run cold. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Spencer decides to help Johnny on a less than legal adventure. So this time, it seems Spencer is making the decision herself, which is super interesting. So I'm curious as to what that adventure is going to be. It's got to be something good for Spencer to agree to it, especially knowing the last thing that got her potentially almost into trouble, the mural or whatever, could have cost her a lot, especially with her just recently being arrested for murder. So.
Yep.
All right, so I think that about wraps things up. Heather, where can the people find you?
Anywhere, everywhere, all over the place. Chronixia.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. Something like a phenomenon. You can also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and YouTube at /ASOTV podcast, or some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week. See you guys later.
Woo.